Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Administrator, good morning.
Good morning.
With respect to the Green New Deal climate change portion of the President's infrastructure bill, how much is it going to lower world temperatures?
Well, I think there's a focus on the American Jobs Plan and the President's climate goals.
Yes, sir, but how much is it going to lower world temperatures? That's the purpose of it.
I think when we look at the climate summit and the target that the President will announce along with the rest of the world, we'll see comprehensively what collectively all of the world
Have you done
actors
any
can do.
modeling? I'm just trying to understand. You're asking us to appropriate $2.3 trillion and to tax corporations $1.7 trillion, at least 50% of which will fall on the backs of workers, because when you tax something, you get less of it. And a big purpose of the infrastructure bill is to lower world temperatures. I mean, that's what global warming, climate change is. So my question is simple. What does your modeling show? How much will this lower world temperatures?
I think the science shows that we collectively have to pursue a target to lower.
I understand the
climate
target,
mitigation.
but what I'm sorry to interrupt, but
Sure.
I understand the target. The target is 1 degree centigrade. I get that part. How much will this bill lower world temperatures?
I think the answer to that is dependent upon, in concert with how much this bill plus other actions outside of the bill look at in concert with reducing those targets while creating jobs.
Have you done any modeling?
Yes, we've done.
What do your models show in terms of how much this bill will lower world temperatures or slow the progression of CO2 emissions?
I don't think the modeling speaks specifically to what this bill in isolation will do. I think the modeling shows the targets that we have to look forward to. And so, in addition to this bill, for instance, there are statutory authorities and other powers.
But why are we doing this if we don't understand, haven't done modeling to show how much it's going to lower world temperature or lower the progression of CO2 emissions and methane?
I think, Senator, we're doing this because the jobs plan proves that we're doing more than just focusing on climate, that we're positioning ourselves to be global leaders on technology.
I get all that,
as well.
Mr. Administrator. I'm not trying to just pick on you, but this is what Deputy Foreign Minister Li Zhongqing said last week of China on April 16th. Quote, "Some countries are asking China to do more on climate change. I'm afraid this is not realistic." So China produces about a third of the world's, really about 28% to be fair, of the world's CO2, okay? If they're not going to participate, and we're going to spend $2.3 trillion, a lot of it is climate change, surely you can give us an estimate of how much it's going to slow the progression of CO2 and how much it's going to lower world temperature.
Well, I'm not quite sure I take the statement at face value from the Chinese representative.
Well, maybe he's a liar, but let's put that aside.
China's investing a lot of money in renewable energy and battery storage and being globally competitive in the very areas that this job bill
I understand.
highlights.
You don't have a figure, do you, Mr. Administrator?
A figure of?
How much this is going to lower world temperature or reduce the progression of CO2 in the United States?
I don't have a figure in front of me that
You don't have it, do you?
specifies how much in isolation this bill lowers the world temperature based on just U.S. participation.
Right. So we're just going to spend $2.3 trillion and find out
I think
on a wing and a prayer?
I think the American Jobs Plan looks at more than just a prayer and a whim. I think it looks at some really good metrics that shows
Right.
that we can create.
Excuse me
millions
for
of
interrupting,
jobs.
but I'm about to run out of time.